am Dr. Saeed Irfanullah, Advocate Corporate Law at Peshawar High Court and a visiting lecturer at Frontier Law College, Peshawar. Our today's topic is the Doctrine Ultra Vires. So, a memorandum of association of a company is a basic charter of the company. It is binding document which describes the scope of the company among other things. If a company departs from the memorandum of association, such an act is ultra vires. Let us further understand the doctrine of the ultra vires. The ultra vires is a fundamental rule of a company. It states that the object of a company, as specified in the memorandum of association, can be departed from only to the extent permitted by the act. Hence, if the company does an act or enters into a contract beyond the powers of the directors and or the company itself, then is said to be a contract as a void and not legally binding of the company. For example, if someone is written in the memorandum of association, and then if a company or the director wants to do some action which is beyond the scope of their powers or the limits of the company, then such an action is called a void action, and which is not legally binding on a company. So the term ultra vires means beyond powers. In legal term, it is applicable only to the acts done to the excess of the legal powers of the doers. This works on the assumption that the powers are limited in nature. Since the doctrine of ultra vires limits the company to the object specified in the memorandum of the company can be retained from using the funds for the purpose other than those specified in the memorandum of the association. Retained from carrying the trade different from the one authorized. So it limits or it bounds that how you can spend the fundings and which type of business you can carry out. So if you give an open hand to a company or director, so they will not be limited then in the domain of the memorandum of association. So the doctrine of the ultra vires, it is an international rule, and it is carried out that what is written in the memorandum of association, you have to follow those ones until some change is made in the memorandum of the association for doing such a job. So a company cannot sue on an ultra vire transactions. Further, it can not be sued too. So if a company supplies goods or offers service or lends money on an ultra vires contract, then it cannot obtain payment or recover the loan. This is very clear, because it is not legal in the eyes of law. However, if a lender loans money to a company which has not been expanded yet, then he can stop the company from parting it with via an injunction. So a lender has this right because the company doesn't become the owner of the money, and it is the ultra vires to the company that the lender remains the owner. For example, if a company collects some of the fundings from a lender and this money is still available with the company and is not yet expanded. So if a company wish to expand it on such a action which is not legally permitted, but the amount is not yet expended, then the lender can stop the spending of the money. But once it is spent, then he cannot sue it, because he has provided the amount for an illegal transaction, and the illegal transaction has no worth in the eyes of law. Further, if a company borrows a company in an ultra-virus contract to the reply of a legal loan, then the lender is entitled to recover his loan from the company. Sometimes an act which is ultra-vires can be regularized by the shareholders of the company. If an act in the ultra-vires power transaction, then the shareholder can ratify it. If an act in the ultra-vires is the article of the company, then the company can alter the article. These are the ways by which he can legalize the rules if somewhere required. Thank you. I am Sayyid Irfanullah from Educate Corporate Law, and I visit and lecturer at Frontier Law College, Peshawar.